Tesla bears take a lot of pleasure in declaring victory when something goes wrong with Tesla. And because of the most recent quarter, they have a lot to celebrate because
the numbers were just awful. They were below analyst expectations across the board. Earnings, revenue, net income, everything came in low.
Yes, the numbers were really bad.
The company's profits are collapsing. The company's revenues are collapsing. The company's market share is collapsing. Everything that could possibly go wrong with Tesla is going wrong.
In fact, the numbers were so bad that even one of the biggest Tesla supporters gave up and sold all of his shares.
The rumors are true. I have sold and liquidated 100% of my Tesla shares here today.
In this video, you're going to learn why the bears and the investors that gave up on Tesla might be wrong and that the future of Tesla might just be brighter than ever. My name is Mariusz Konieczny and I've been investing in the stock market full-time for 16 years. I'm the author of 11 books on investing and the founder of microcapexplosions.com. Before I talk about what the bears are missing with Tesla, let's talk about what went wrong. You see, Tesla is the most valuable car manufacturing company in the world. It is more valuable than Toyota, Ferrari, Mercedes-Benz, and General Motors. Actually, before the most recent 50% sell-off in the stock of Tesla, Tesla was worth more than all of the auto manufacturers combined. Tesla's value was so high, not because Tesla sells the most number of cars. Actually, Toyota sells more than 5 times the number of cars that Tesla does. Tesla value was so high because of growth. We were told that Tesla was going to grow at 50% per year for the next however many years. However, recent revenues and profits are not only not growing fast, they are literally collapsing. During the most recent quarter, profits plummeted 71%. And it gets even worse. Tesla almost became unprofitable.
This was bad. They remained profitable, but only by a whisker. And the only thing that kept the company out of the red was these regulatory credit sales that Tesla books.
Elon Musk is playing politics, angering Tesla's core customers. There are Tesla protests all over the country, and this is at a time when the competitors are finally catching up. Tesla is no longer the only game in town when it comes to electric vehicles. Here are some of the reasons why Jeremy from Financial Education YouTube channel sold all of his Tesla shares. Remember, Jeremy was one of the Tesla's biggest supporters.
First reason I sold out of Tesla is it's a core business that is in decline. All our best customers hate us now. They all freaking hate Tesla. All our best customers. Like, why is Tesla at $800 billion market cap, right? Why has Tesla had all this success? It's from 3 groups of people: liberals, Europeans, and Chinese. Part 5. We have a part-time CEO.
Now, the surprising thing is that after Tesla reported a disastrous quarter, the stock price actually went up because
fanatical cult clowns that continue to buy his stock, regardless of how much the company deteriorates, in a most obvious manner that any non-delusional person would see.
over the years, there were many Tesla skeptics that were wrong about the company. Some of the most famous Tesla short sellers include Michael Burry, Bill Gates, David Einhorn, and Jim Chanos. So while some of the smartest people in the world betted against Tesla, retail investors got it right. Yeah, retail investors, the people that Wall Street makes fun of, the people that so-called professionals call dumb money, the cult followers got it right. So maybe Tesla bears should put their egos aside and listen for once. Why is Tesla stock up even though Tesla reported horrible numbers? Why is Tesla still the most valuable car manufacturing company in the world even though the growth turned negative? Here's what Elon Musk said about the future of Tesla on the most recent conference call.
I remain extremely optimistic about the future of the company. The future of the company is fundamentally based on large-scale autonomous cars and large-scale, in large volume, vast numbers of autonomous humanoid robots.
What could this mean for the future value of Tesla?
I continue to believe that Tesla, with excellent execution, will be the most valuable company in the world by far. It may be as valuable as the next 5 companies combined.
This is the roadmap, but it is important to understand how this might completely transform Tesla's business in the future. You see, right now, the majority of Tesla's revenues come from selling cars. And this is not a very good business. Margins are low, competition is high, this is a very capital-intensive business. Also, car sales are one-time sales, not recurring revenues. What if Tesla could have a business model that had higher margins, had recurring revenues, faced less competition, and required less capital? The release of robotaxis could completely transform Tesla's business model. Here's how Brett Winton, ARK Invest chief futurist, explained it on CNBC.
Well, I love to hear the skepticism amongst the panel here because nobody mentioned the most important data point, which is they reaffirmed the launch of robotaxi in June in Austin. And the way to think about this, the automotive business is important because you need to deliver units into the market, which they already have millions in play, that will become prospective robotaxis as they software update the vehicles. The entire business model of this company is going to transform as and if robotaxi launches, where you go from a one-time sale of a vehicle, as the panelists mentioned, at low margin, to generating ongoing revenue off of every vehicle in fleet over time. And it just transforms the business. And in the future, that'll become the robotaxi capability will be a demand driver for their production. They're actually going to be production constrained again to a material extent, in our view, once robotaxi begins to scale across the US.
Well, to some, this might sound crazy and unrealistic, but this future is already here, and it is just a matter of rolling it out everywhere else. Robotaxis are going to disrupt the traditional ride-hailing market, the same way that Uber and Lyft disrupted the taxi industry. But not only this, robotaxis will disrupt the driving as we know it. Look at what Waymo has already done to Uber and Lyft in San Francisco. Waymo is a ride-hailing company with self-driving cars operating like Uber, but with no drivers. When Waymo launched in 2023, Uber and Lyft had San Francisco market shares of 66% and 34% respectively. 15 months later, at the end of 2024, Waymo was at 22%. That's just incredible. In 15 months, from nothing to 22% of market share. What is even crazier is that Waymo was able to achieve this without really adding much value to society, because Waymo is still charging Uber prices due to the fact that Waymo cars cost a lot of money to produce. Tesla will truly be able to add value to society because it will be able to produce cheaper self-driving vehicles and thus charge sub-Uber prices.
Waymo's great. I ride it in LA all the time. I would trust my kids in a Waymo, whereas I wouldn't in an Uber. Tesla has a benefit against Waymo in that they're going to be able to deliver a less costly hardware asset, which will determine their price per mile they're able to charge. Waymo is still charging Uber-like prices.
So the future is already here. Waymo already set the foundation. The company is already in Phoenix, San Francisco, Los Angeles, Austin, and will soon be in Atlanta and Miami. Consequently, for Tesla, it is not a matter of whether robotaxis are going to be introduced, but how much market share will Tesla and other companies like Amazon get in the robotaxi industry.
There will be millions of Teslas operating autonomously, fully autonomously in the second half of next year.
Now, self-driving cars are not just about disrupting the ride-hailing industry. Yes, Tesla will own its own fleet of robotaxis. Yes, owners of self-driving Teslas will be able to put their vehicles into the Tesla's rental fleet to earn a little bit of extra money. Self-driving cars are about disrupting cars and transportation in general. Do you remember the time when cars had manual transmissions? Every car car used to have a manual transmission. You had to use both feet, one for the accelerator and the brake, and the other one for the clutch. You had one hand on the wheel, and the other was changing gears. Then came an automatic transmission, which completely changed the way we drive. Now everybody has an automatic transmission. This invention positively improved our driving experience. Now we have a free hand and a free foot. While we can't do much with the free foot, we can do a lot with the free hand. Drink coffee while driving, change the radio station, and even text on our phones. Now imagine how much more enjoyable and productive a car ride can be if we don't have to touch the wheel, don't have to use our feet, and don't even have to pay attention to the road. Instead, we can sleep, work on a laptop, watch a movie, and maybe even exercise. This is the definition of adding value to society. Picture all the time wasted all over the world by people driving in cars and being stuck in traffic. Tesla is going to be part of the solution here. This is the future of driving. Once fully adopted, we're never going to go back to cars that we have to drive ourselves. That's why Tesla shareholders are excited about the future of Tesla. That's why they are not concerned that the current revenues and profits are deteriorating. That's why Elon Musk believes that Tesla will be the most valuable company in the world.
If we have millions of cars deployed next year, and unless we're blocked by regulatory situations, it won't be long. I mean, in a few years, we'll have 10 million autonomous cars on the roads.
And this is just robotaxis. Humanoid robots are another area with great potential for Tesla. So in summary, Tesla's business is struggling a little bit right now. Consequently, the bears are calling for the end of Tesla, and even some of the die-hard Tesla supporters are giving up. But I wouldn't be so quick to say that Tesla is finished. I understand why Tesla shareholders see a bright future ahead. They know exactly why they are invested in Tesla. Thus, calling them cult followers is probably a bit uneducated. With that being said, thank you for watching. If you want to learn about another company that will change the world, but barely anybody knows about this company right now, I suggest you watch this video. If you like this video, give me a like, subscribe to this YouTube channel, and see you next time.